The great author F. Scott Fitzgerald once wrote that through literature, you discover that your longings are universal longings, that you are not lonely and isolated from anyone, that you belong. As an English teacher at Lawton, Eisenhower High School, Michelle Churchwell inspires students to develop a lasting love for literature and to see it as a mirror for their lives and their shared human experience. Ms. Churchwell makes literature come alive by reading aloud to her students so that they can experience the tears, the laughter, and the struggles of fictional characters and navigate difficult passages together. She models the power of literature to connect us all. Ms. Churchwell also connects students to one another and to the community through IKE Ignition, a mentoring program that matches freshmen with upperclassmen for leadership lessons and community service. Together, the students have raised more than $100,000 and donated more than 700 service hours to fight hunger in their community. We are privileged and delighted that many of those IKE Ignition mentors are here with us tonight. As a teacher and program advisor, Michelle Churchwell is empowering students to use their voices for positive social change.
Having an elementary school background, I decided we're just going to read out loud. That way, I know that they are understanding the material. I know they're reading it. I can read and enjoy it with them.
When Ms. Churchwell reads to you in class, it just puts you in the story so much better. When she has the enthusiasm that the character in the book has, it just makes you enjoy the book so much more.
They're learning that there's a great big world out there other than themselves and their phone, and that's big.
I think a lot of people are distracted by social media, and there's just too many distractions in this world, and she knows that books and literature is what can really bring us back down to earth, so to say, and I appreciate that.
IKE Ignition has two missions: service and leadership.
And I think that the passion that Ms. Churchwell has that's rubbing off on these kids is really just bleeding out through the whole school. So Ms. Churchwell's caring heart is influencing all these kids to care so much about each other, and I think that's just creating more and more kids that are caring about their fellow students and their community as well.
She makes it real. Hunger's a real thing. And so just by her being concerned, and she is always there doing every activity with them.
She gave me leadership, she gave me honor, empathy. She made me build that skill to where now I can talk to anybody and I can express my feelings. I walk around the school with my head high knowing that I have a favorite teacher that's by my side.
I love my students. I tell them that they're the reason that I come to school every day. There are some kids who really go an entire day. Some can go an entire week without someone telling them that they're special, that they're loved. And so I hope they know that.
Ladies and gentlemen, the recipient of the 2019 Oklahoma Medal for Excellence in Secondary Teaching from Eisenhower High School in Lawton, Michelle Churchwell.
I can't remember a time I wasn't surrounded by books. I also can't remember my mother ever telling me no when I would ask her to read to me. We may have read Don't Forget the Oatmeal 10 times that day, but my mother was never too busy, never bored by the book. The spine of the book may have been cracked or even stripped, but every single time we opened it, she was as excited as if it were the first time. From the beginning, I equated reading with nurturing, security, and maybe a snack. My mother was my first teacher, and along with many others throughout my time as a student in Oklahoma public schools, she is the inspiration for my teaching. My favorite days at school are the days that my students and I can just read. No test prep, no packets, no PowerPoints, no pressure, just reading. Not all of my students have the same relationship to reading that my mother so carefully cultivated in me. Many struggle with reading and don't have someone at home who can spend the time to bring them to grade level, let alone foster a love of language. For at least the 50 minutes that they're with me, I strive to create the environment that my mother and my teachers created for me, one in which the content comes alive and their worries take a back seat. I can assure you I am not the exception. I'm one example of thousands of Oklahoma public school teachers who are creating engaging and nurturing spaces for our students every day. I am a product of Oklahoma teachers, and I thank them all for their example. Thank you to my family, my husband, my children, my mom and my dad for your constant support and encouragement. Thank you to my friends, my colleagues, and my administrators. And lastly, thank you to my students for allowing me the honor of being your teacher. The magnitude of that honor is not lost on me. Thank you.